Hey everybody, it's James with Rowe-Thrush. Welcome to the Rowe-Thrush live stream interview series. Today we will be interviewing Ryan with CLR Pro. But before we get into that, just want to do a couple of housekeeping things. So first, in case you're not familiar with who Rowe-Thrush is, we are a manufacturer rep agency that represents just over 60 different suppliers into Grainger. We also have a bunch of tools and resources available to Grainger sellers, such as segmented line cards, segment-specific line cards, that is, as well as segment-specific sales flyers for our suppliers. We regularly jump on district team calls with Grainger teams, and we also created something called the Rowe-Thrush SharePoint site. This is a valuable resource made specifically for the Grainger sales force that contains our entire library of Graingerized literature. It has a ton of Rowe-Thrush videos going over multiple solutions that our suppliers can help out with you and your customers, as well as much, much more. And with that, I would like to welcome Ryan with CLR Pro.
How's it going, James?
Hey, going good. How about yourself? How are you today?
Doing well. Happy Friday. Or after that clock, I feel like I should be yelling Happy New Year. So,
Yeah, happy Friday. Looking forward to the weekend, Father's Day weekend. I get to celebrate it twice this weekend, both on Saturday and Friday. So I'm a little lucky in that regard.
there
And
you go.
on Sunday, I get to celebrate Father's Day with getting rid of my kids for summer camp. I don't know why they picked Father's Day to have it
Yeah,
be the day to get rid of your kids for summer camp, but so they'll be gone after that. So.
well, there you
Uh,
go.
so hey, before we get into this, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where you kind of why you're with CLR, how long you've been with them, and whatnot.
Yeah, no problem. Well, first off, thanks again. First time doing something like this, so it's very interesting, but I think it's smart on a Friday, and you're seeing more of this happen, so I appreciate it. But yeah, so to answer the question, been with CLR for about a year and a half now. Came aboard, man, I think it was 2, 3 weeks. No, probably about a month right before COVID hit. So it's been a very interesting transition and experience. I mean, as well as you can imagine from last year. So a year and a half with CLR, but been in the industrial space or the kind of the B2B side of the business for about, I want to say 6 years now. So before being with CLR and kind of working more at the top line of things with like you guys and Grainger at the top level, I was working for Krylon or Sherwin-Williams as a field sales rep in Pittsburgh. And that's kind of how I got into the space. I was a local rep that would go on daily calls with Grainger reps to see end users. And it was probably one of the neatest jobs out there to see how stuff is made every single day and to really learn the industrial environment. You get your feet wet. So about 6 years, a year and a half with CLR Pro.
Oh, that's awesome. So you have experience with working with the Grainger sales force. You know what their needs are, what some of their customer facilities are like, and all. That's excellent
Yep.
to know. What brought you to CLR? What CLR Pro? What made you want to join them?
Yeah. So it's pretty interesting. When I was, looking to switch over to CLR Pro and even going through the interview process, I think there's a couple of things that's really important. One is always who you're going to work for, your leadership and who the company represents. I've always worked at major corporations where, there's thousands of employees, and I wanted to try to get to something smaller because, it's always a point to prove in some bigger companies that you're not just a number. But it's been really fun coming over here. We got a great team. I'm not just in sales, or at least I don't just feel like I'm in sales. I'm working all the time with marketing, speaking to our CEO. You can just pick up the phone and call anyone. It is truly a family environment. So I really wanted to get a kind of taste for that, similar to probably what you guys have at Rowe-Thrush, but been pretty blessed on that side. And then on the second side, or the second decision was, the product line itself. You always want to have something that's reputable, something that does the job well, something that you're going to be proud to sell and believe in. So when I looked at like coming aboard and looking at this chemical line, I mean, we've been in business for, I want to say 54 to 55 years and really in the retail space, dominated the retail space with calcium lime and rust remover, Tarnex. And because of the success that the retail team has had, we've seen it now start leaking over into the B2B side or the industrial space where people are like, this works so well at home. I need to bring this home to my pro environment. And that got me excited because, you know, I'm going to be able to sell something with you guys that we believe in. And at the same time, we're building something here. I'm not just coming into a role to kind of develop it or grow it. We're actually kind of building this from the ground up. So it's a big learning opportunity for me, but overall I was pretty excited about it.
Great reasons to join a great company. All right, I got one more question before we really get into everything. I'm a big movie buff, and last time when we had Russell with Fleer on, I asked him what his favorite movie was and why. So I'd like to ask you the same question, Ryan. What's your favorite movie and why?
Favorite movie? You know, I'm a big comedy fan. I will say that, but when I think of my favorite movie, a movie that I always watch or that no matter what comes on, I'm always going to tune into it. Since I was little, I just love the movie Jaws, the classic Jaws. It's sometimes on a Sunday, it's on sci-fi. I watch it. And since I was a little kid, like it was my favorite movie and made me like love sharks. So I don't know. It's just always something that stuck around and got me into I guess I watch it all now. It's kind of corny because the animation's not there, but I still enjoy it.
That's an excellent movie. Steven Spielberg, great director, obviously.
Hmm.
I remember a while ago, I forgot how many years ago it was. It was 5, 6, 7 years ago or so. I watched all of the Jaws movies,
Yeah.
back to back to back. And I forgot how many there are, but there's a lot. And from what I remember, they were one of the first movie series that had so many sequels. Back in the day, it was just 1, 2, or 3 sequels, but they were the first
Yep.
one to go to like 6 or 7 or 8, or like I said, I don't remember how many. If anybody knows, why don't you send a quick little message to us? It'd be great to see it pop up if somebody could Google
It's
that.
gotta be like 3 or 4. I can't remember, but
No, it's more than that.
is it?
It's more than that.
And
Yeah.
now it's all about Sharknado and the really weird ones, but
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Sharknado. They went to like 8 or something. So tell us about the new CLR Pro. Your slide here says your hardworking, safer solution. Why is it known for this motto?
Yeah. So, talking about CLR Pro, our parent company, Gelmar, we're the division, more the industrial or the B2B space, the CLR Pro side. And for anyone out there, CLR stands for the calcium lime and rust remover. So, what's fun about this slogan right here, your hardworking, safer solution is it's basically, we obviously came up with that idea, but it was a story told through you guys, told through our distributors, told through our end users. It's kind of the story that got the pro industry or the pro line started. And more specifically, like I said before, we get calls from end users every month talking about, hey, I use this stuff at home. We're looking for a solution for, being that they're the end user, looking for a solution here for our hard water, better cleaning. And I brought this in from home and it works so well. Can I get it in a tote? Can I get it in a drum? Can you help me out here? And we've always been known as that hardworking product. I mean, everybody usually has one of our, that silver jug that you see down there at the bottom in the center underneath their sink. And it's like that specialty cleaner that you go to when everything else fails. So we always say, this is what we've been known for. This is how people know us in this more old school aspect. What they don't know about us, though, is we're more than just hardworking. We're also safe. So, we're trying to get that point across because now we're trying to go from the retail side and share some of that success and get into more of the pro side in different sectors and segments such as manufacturing, facilities maintenance, construction, automotive, college. You'll see colleges and universities down there. I mean, we're really a wide span of products that fit in so many different areas. And what's interesting is always finding out new ways from end users or distributors how people are using our product.
Oh, that's great. Great talking points right there. So when it comes to the Grainger customer business issues, or CBIs as they're more commonly known, what areas does CLR Pro fit well within?
Yeah, it's there's always new stories or new ways or findings that we're getting even from the field. But first and foremost, the big one this past year has been just cost savings. Due to COVID, people are really looking at what they're using to clean. and how much cleaners they do carry on site and what they're using them for. And one of the things that we've been focusing on with the, the reps in the field, or, just in the end users in general, is how do you need to have a line of 20 different types of cleaners, or could you have some, multi-purpose products that can do the job of 5 or 6 things? So cost savings alone, and, streamlining things like with the 5S approach could always improve at every facility is what we're learning. Productivity, people want something that's going to work. I always talk about, my first learning experience when I was a rep in the field was from a Grainger rep who said, hey, we're going to get out of the car. We're going to walk into the steel mill. We're going to talk to a purchaser. So you got to make sure, you could show your value and make sure that the productivity of your products perform and they show long-term lasting cost savings. You're going to talk to the safety person. So it's got to make sure it has the SDS requirements and it's going to be safe for the employees. And then, we're trying to go for the goal of keep stock because, like, James, this is ready to use. And this isn't a product that you use to clean your house once a week or once, I guess if you were my college roommates, once a month. But people use these cleaners every day in the industrial environment. And going forward, there's cleaning protocols. There's going to be a cleaning plan because of COVID. So helping out and having in that keep stock program is a big thing with us and working with Grainger as well.
Oh yeah, and with the product being a consumable, no matter if it's a spray bottle that they're using, a 1
Yep.
gallon jug, a 5 gallon pail, those are perfect sizes for keep stock applications.
Yep.
So safety, that is definitely a CBI with Grainger. Why is that important, and how can that help out customers and end users?
Yeah, this has been the fun part about CLR and CLR Pro specifically is, people know us as that green chemical, like I told you about, that works. They're like, oh, we know CLR, use it all the time at home. But it's always fun to be like, well, did you know that, it's a safer product, if not just as strong, better, performing wise, but safer than what's mostly out there. And they're like, no way. When I use it on my shower head, it bubbles or it fizzles. And so when we actually talk to people, we're like, we tell them, we invest in making a product that's strong and it's going to perform, and that's also going to be safe. A lot of our competitors have a green line, but then they have an industrial line. But, we're trying to say we're in the middle. We invest in making strong working products that are also safe. And so much so that you see here on the screen, we've been the EPA Partner of the Year since 2015. So for the last 6 straight years, we don't have EPA safer choice products. We do have them, but what we don't do, I think, a well enough job in my trainings with some of the field teams, letting people know that we've been the partner of the year with the EPA. And we really take a lot of value in this because there's a lot of different green certifications out here, but this one's tough. And in my opinion, it's probably the hardest one because, you're disclosing everything to the Environmental Protection Agency. They're allowed to look at our chemicals, to our manufacturing process, to how we do everything. So we wanted to make sure that if we're going to partner with someone, just like our distributors partner with their end users, we're going to make sure that we partner with the right team, that we prove and we stand behind how green we are. So that's the big thing. It's definitely taking more precedence this year with people calling. We've had a couple end users reach out, and it seems to be the trend going forward, looking for some of these designations on their bottles.
That's amazing. The fact that you continue to do that year after year after year going forward. Can you talk a little bit more about this slide and other areas that you excel in?
Yeah, no problem. So NSF certification, a lot of our products, not all of them, are food grade approved. So we do dabble. We used to dabble. Now we're really getting involved in the food grade environment. We'll have to share some of those later, but we have food grade approved items, FDA compliant, lead compliancy. So a lot of the Grainger reps have been asking me, hey, can they get lead status points or green points for using your products? The answer is yes. And it's not just something I want them to know about, but I think it's a question we should all be asking our end users in general is like, hey, how are you going green? And are you guys looking for green status points? That's a solution that we can bring forward and working with you guys and, Grainger and any of our distributors. We've been readily biodegradable, non-toxic, which is huge for safety. But when you look at the procurement side of things and these larger industrial applications in the manufacturing environment, they're really starting to, especially these engineers, they want to look for something that's going to work, but it's not going to be too corrosive and destroying their equipment or their machinery. And it's interesting. I'm hearing more and more stories where people are over saturating their surfaces with disinfectants or sanitizers, which really starts to wear them down. And now they're saying, well, maybe we're doing it too much because we can't keep buying new equipment. So we're a very non-corrosive but a strong working product. And the thing I always wanted to highlight here is, you wrap this all around that we're a family-ran business, third generation. Allison, our CEO, is third generation, and we're a woman-owned business. So we really want to make sure that, if you're a government rep out there, take advantage of this, reach out to us, talk to me, talk to you, because just recently we've started talking to some military bases that use our product. And when we tell them, we're a woman-owned business or minority business, smaller business, they're like, this is great. We had no idea. Like, we're going to start purchasing more. You're helping us hit some of those goals as well. So it's a fun little circle there that we circle with all the, safety aspects to it for the hardworking, safer solution. And we always say we're safety without compromise. We're going to provide you a good product without, really making anything harsh or destroying your equipment.
That's excellent, and great points there, especially with the woman-owned business with government account managers. Great point right there.
Yeah.
So I've over the last year or so talking with you, you've spoken a lot about how your products can help out with hard water, removing scale, being an overall general deep cleaner. How can your products, can you go into more detail about the value that your products can bring to customers?
Yeah. I mean, more specifically, I think everyone really should understand CLR. Because that's one of our top moving products in general, but we always call it the villain, how hard water is the villain. And, I always tell everybody, just for a second, imagine just this morning, it was raining, and the rain falls out of the sky and it works its way into the groundwater, to its rivers, valleys, and streams. It starts off soft because it's just rain, but once it hits the ground, it starts picking up particles, or not particles, more magnesium, calcium, more of your minerals. And as those minerals or that water gets purified, it still has the minerals by the time it gets to your sink or your fountain or your shower head. As you turn that shower head to hot and cold and you turn it off, we all know water evaporates, but rocks or minerals, they don't evaporate. They stay there on the surface after. And as they harden, that's why you call it hard water or scale. They harden, and then the next time you take a shower, another one hardens on top of it, and it forms a scale-like substance, or that green mold that you'll see on your shower head. Yeah. And the problem with this in general is 80% of the US experiences hard water issues. So when I do these trainings, people are like, well, Ryan, what do I ask? How do I ask a value-added question? The question is not whether or not you experience hard water. The question is, how are you handling hard water? I mean, we deal with it every morning when we take a shower, we wash our clothes in the washing machine. So asking that to our end users is really important. And, statistics show that 70% of your home appliances, when they fail, are due to hard water issues. So take that, what you have at home, and how you have to deal with that. Imagine it more on the manufacturing side. That's going to cost thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars for these larger industrial equipment. So as you see, this slide is what we're known for, James, the hard water that gets on your glass, the shower head, the sink faucets. But I always tell people, be the doctor. If you see hard water and your end users are telling you we have hard water around our sinks, our faucets, around our drains, that means there's a bigger issue behind the scenes. And that's the issue of hard water starting to attack the inside of your drains and your plumbing. And here's a common example that you'll see in city water lines, or even at just different applications. But I was telling you about that scale. You'll see on the right-hand side, those little bumps. That's just kind of like the scales that form up over time, and they choke out the plumbing equipment. And what's interesting in wrapping it back to the value or the CBIs, where do they really come in here? Well, for one, safety. If you talk to any hotel or hospitality account, by law, due to the CDC, you have to be constantly flushing out your lines, either by disinfecting them or trying to remove scale, because that's where Legionnaires or bacteria, they love to hide in scale. The other thing is, you're really going to be talking and helping out your performance for the engineers and people on the line, because as you see, as it's choking out, the performance is going to take a lot longer, and it's going to make it a lot more difficult for your applications to cool down or heat up. So It's kind of gross. Now working for this company, I go to like a hotel, and if it takes a while to heat up the shower, I'm like, oh man, some hard water here. So
Oh boy, yeah, those are some amazing pictures right there. Can you talk a little bit more about this? I saw this earlier.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's pretty fun. This actually just happened last week. So we got a call from the government, from a government end user who works on the dams, the rivers and the dams in the West Coast. And they had a 4-inch pipe in diameter, and they wanted to use CLR to flush out the pipe. And I said, well, what are you using the pipe for? They're like, well, we allow water to run through it when we have to lower the levels above the dam. But they hadn't ever really looked at what was causing the water to take so long over time to go through the pipe. And what happened is, you'll see that picture in the top right. That is actually everything that was in the pipe. You'll see that little groove on the top. That was what was left in the diameter of the pipe. So those rings right there, what we call the scale or the hard water, they took a chunk out, threw it into this bucket right here full of CLR just to test it. And you'll see where it starts to bubble, fizz, and foam, because it's starting to, remove the scale. So it's a way that they test it a lot of times. And, just getting into a value added cost to this, 1/16 of an inch of scale increases your energy consumption by 11%. Last week when you had Russell on, or 2 weeks ago when you had Russell on talking, he was talking about a lot of the energy, or a lot of the cost savings that you're looking for in these buildings for your end users is due to energy. I think he said something like 30% of the energy is consumed for air or something like that in a facility. Yep. Same thing here. I mean, how much water is wasted not getting properly heated or cooled for these applications? I mean, think of HVAC in general. So, you could really help by extending the longevity of equipment to just anything in general by having a preventative maintenance approach using our CLR.
That's a crazy picture right there too, of that chunk of lime and a buildup. Because it looks like almost like an artery, that's getting slowly clogged up. And if they had let it go any longer, it probably would have clogged up completely, and they wouldn't have been able to drain at all.
Yep.
So that's amazing right there. So when it comes to CLR Pro, how are you different from other cleaning manufacturers?
Yeah, so the one thing is, we talk about with safety, just in general, to highlight our product CLR Pro, we always tell people, look at the acid. When you look at the scale right here and you're looking at acidic cleaners are used to remove inorganic materials such as sediment, rocks, nothing that was ever living. You don't want to use a degreaser to clean off inorganic materials on glass, because what you're going to be doing is just scratching the glass. You need something that's going to dissolve it and take it off. So when we look at our products, they don't just perform, but CLR, for example, uses lactic acid, which is a derivative of corn. So it's not an acid that's so strong. I mean, some of them are out there. Some of our competitors have stronger acids than battery acid. So you want to make sure it's safer. But on the other end of this spectrum, we offer a whole array of solutions with an alkaline cleaner. So our regular cleaners and degreasers that are going to be used for, like I say, the organic materials, the fats, the oils, the grease, the food, everyday uses. And then what's been really exciting is we're also launching some new innovation within next month with Grainger on some neutral-based cleaners. So we offer a whole breadth of a line of cleaners. And when people reach out to me and they're like, hey, Ryan, I need your help. And what do I use to clean this? The question is, well, what's the surface we're cleaning? What's on it? Is it rust? Is it dirt? Is it oil? Is it grime? So we have a lot of solutions out there, and we just always tell people we have a whole breadth of a line to help them.
That's excellent. Great information. When it comes to CLR Pro, you kind of touched a little bit on the segments, the key segments that your products fit in. Can you expand on that a little bit more as far as certain products for certain applications?
Yeah, so the exciting news, as you'll see here, is July 1st, where you start off with you guys and with Grainger on this facilities maintenance line. We have we wanted to make a line that was really uniformed for the industrial or the pro application. I would say for the longest time, one of our biggest competitors has always been ourselves. And, Grainger reps are never shy to tell me that. They're the ones that tell me, hey, this guy's just jumping his car, running up the street to Ace Hardware to go pick up your product. Now we have a pro line with more bulk sizes to be in that keep stock program. I mean, our goal really is how do we get the pro end user to buy from a pro distributor the pro products? So this line's going to help us with that. But more specifically to what you're asking for, some of the sectors that we've really been doing a lot more work with is government in forms of military, education, transportation. Because we offer cleaning solutions that are safe, long-term, ready to use, effective. And we also help them reach some of their spend goals. So we've worked with you guys on making some sell sheets that we want to make sure everyone is aware of that they can have after the call. When it comes to property management, hospitality, multifamily, you look at just our regular line that we have right here, we really fit in all aspects with our multi-purpose cleaners to our descalers and degreasers that we just went over. Stain removers. People always think, oh, there's more than just stains in your clothes. I'm like, well, there's mold and mildew stains. There's, hard water stains. There's there's so many different stains out there that you need a specialty product for that we have for the property management side of things. And then the newest one that's been pretty fun is our drain maintainers. It is amazing how much I talk to Grainger reps and they tell me the amount of spend that facilities put into properly maintaining draining. Because you think about, even food grade manufacturing with water wash down, there's so much snaking of drain lines continuously. Is there a long-term solution? And we provide that with some of our drain maintainers, specifically our bioenzymatic drain maintainer. It's a bacteria. It's pH 7, so neutral to your hands. And it actually eats anything that's in the drain and keeps spreading through the pipework. So it's going to eat that fat, that oil, that grease. It's really going to help control a lot of that. And, the nastiest win that we got with that is a couple fraternities. We had a couple Grainger reps reach out to us like, man, there's nothing. They constantly throw stuff down there. I'm like, well, using Drano, just watch YouTube videos. Most plumbers don't recommend it because it's pretty harsh on the internal components of a system. So that's definitely where we fit with that line. When you look at more of the manufacturing environment, the one that's more near and dear to my heart, or the industrial side of things, we do offer some bigger bulk solutions. We work a lot with different Grainger reps right now at die casting facilities, wastewater, manufacturing plants for heat exchangers, cooling towers, HVAC units. Petrochem is reaching out more and more to us. We've had a lot with the port and shipping lately. I think because our products are so safe and biodegradable. Around water, you always have to be very careful. And then the newest fun one for me is we're getting more attention with food grade. I mean, we just got told last week Papa John's Pizza is using our degreaser now. So it's always fun to have that. But we offer some of these bulk and solutions for flushing out. We have industrial systems flush that kind of removes that scale like we showed you a few slides ago. We came out with vehicle lime remover last year for a lot of these mining sites or steel mills that use lime powder. That lime powder, any kind of those powders that can get on vehicles will start to scratch the vehicles, the glass, causing safety concerns, wear them down. Now we offer a solution that you could spray on, and you don't need to take it to an offsite area to collect the groundwater. It's safe, it's biodegradable, and it removes it. And then finally, we do a lot in the concrete sector. So any reps that are out there, CLR is a great product used for the concrete. I mean, when anyone's driving, the next time they're on a bridge and you see those nasty rust stains on the side of concrete or the chalky white ones, we get more and more construction companies and concrete companies using our product to remove the rust stains and those harsh efflorescence. So it's been a pretty good line for us, and we're always looking to expand. We got a couple ideas in mind, so it'll be pretty exciting when we get more products out there.
Excellent. Great points right there for everybody. I'm going to ask you one more question about new products, but before I do, I want to remind all of our viewers to start getting in your questions that you have for Ryan now, because we'll be opening up to Q&A after he goes through this. So Ryan, what kind of new products do you have available or that are coming soon?
Well, I should be asking probably you that question because I know I sent you some new ones. But before I have you tell me what you've gotten recently, we did launch an automotive line that's on Grainger.com right now. Just to highlight a few of them, let's go where people are using our products. So you jump on YouTube and you always hear about us and how guys use their own, secret concoction of CLR to help flush out the radiators. So we have a radiator flush. anyone that's working with fleet departments or even government transportation wise, we have a radiator flush that removes 10 times more scale in 10 minutes than our leading competition does in 3 hours. So it's just getting them to try it and they'll fall in love with it. And it does it. I mean, you're saving 3 hours to 10 minutes. That's a huge cost savings right there. But the
Well,
other ones that are
real quick, sorry, the radiator flush and cleaner. Back in my automotive days, I did that plenty of times. There was actually a period of time where, like, almost every single General Motors made vehicle had coolant that was all clogged up because it like gelatinized and hardened, and we were flushing the radiator systems on a daily, if not weekly, basis with all of our customers' cars. So that's cool right there.
Yeah,
I
no, it's a
I
neat
identify with that.
product. We got a good video we can always share for anyone that's interested. We've got a couple reps now who've got me some feedback and been pretty happy with the end users who tried it. But the other interesting one that's moving with us now is the exterior rust remover. It's just, we've always been known as a quality rust removal product. This is just a product that you could spray, wipe off the rust. Everyone's number one question is it going to harm the paint? It will not harm the paint. It's a safer solution to removing the rust, still biodegradable, still offers all those safer products and or those safer qualities. And then on the other end, I never really knew much about the trucking industry, but it's surprising how strong stain removers are in carpets and upholstery and how some of them are unsafe. So we've been getting more calls about, switching to safer alternatives that work, and we offer that as well. So we launched this about a couple months, I would say about a year ago with Grainger online. We just want to get more, recognition with it out there and have people try it out.
That's great. So a whole line of vehicle products, and what's this stuff right here that you got?
This was the newest line that our facilities maintenance line that's coming July 1st. I wanted to get a picture for everyone to see, the ready to use trigger spray line and bottles, because VOCs are everything now, and aerosols having to, can puncture them and properly dispose. So we also offer a greener alternative with our trigger sprays. But I believe I sent, you guys some. You guys should have got them. I didn't know. I was going to ask you if you had any chance of trying any of them.
So I've had a chance to try one out, and that is the cleaner and degreaser.
Yep.
Charlie Lang, if you're watching, this is one of yours right here. But I used it on my grill actually. So my wife and I, we got a brand new grill at the beginning of the year. We couldn't start using it right away, so it wasn't until March or so. But it was, and we grill almost every day, multiple times a week. And I actually used it last night on my grill. And funny enough, my wife had cooked burgers at lunchtime, for her and the kids and everything. So it had some very fresh residue, not that it never does. But I sprayed it down and I walked away. 10 minutes later, I came back and it was already cleaner than it was before. I sprayed one more application, let it sit for 10 minutes, and it was already almost clean before I started scrubbing it with our grill brush. Now, to note, our grill brush is a wireless type brush, so that you don't get the bristles stuck in, on the grates and all that. So it's not as aggressive, but I was very pleasantly surprised with very little elbow grease, how clean I could get my grates just with 2 applications of the cleaner and degreaser product.
Yeah, it's a great product. I know when you guys called saying, what can I use? I have some pretty nasty grease environment. I remember I told you, it's surprising how many people use it in the food grade environment that I'm getting more phone calls for, because we always have been known as that degreaser that when all else fails, they try ours and we get great feedback. And that was like Papa John's is using. We got a couple food grade manufacturers that are using it now, and it is a truly strong. I say it's the water-based degreaser that's on steroids. That's what I tell people, but it's still safe. So
you got to stop saying Papa John's. You're making me want to have pizza.
It's always exciting when I see them now. I'm like, I sell to them or we help them. So
there's this one other product that I'm really looking forward to trying. I have not tried it yet, but that is your probiotic cleaner.
Hmm.
And I noticed that here on the label it says 3 days cleaning power. So does that mean I can spray this on a surface, wipe it down, and what does that mean? Does it mean it keeps cleaning for 3 days, or how does that work?
Yeah, so like we've talked about throughout the whole presentation, we've wanted to give another way, I would even say another CBI or another way that, Grainger or anybody out there can use our products and see a longer term benefit from it. Because that's the goal, long term, having systems in place. And you look at that product and it's just a similar thing that you hear all the time on the news today or from doctors, having good gut bacteria or having, a healthy probiotic. Really, what it is, James, is it's just an enzyme that you are going to spray on the surface. Now, we have tested it versus our competition, some of the leading competition probiotics out there, and it removes that fog, that fat, that oil, that grease, that dirt off the surface better than competition. But what it also does is it leaves behind that probiotic that will keep staying on the surface for up to 3 days and attacking anything you missed. So it's going to be attacking those maybe more and more in those cracks or there's crevices. And what the neat thing is, I have my own apartment complex buying it now because it helps reduce and eliminate odor. So people are like, well, what would you ask with a product like that? And I tell a couple of the Grainger reps, I'm like, well, how are you ensuring your surfaces are staying clean enough long enough? Like what is a longer term solution? I mean, we disinfect everything and overspray stuff. What if we provided a safer alternative that kept working when you weren't there? So it's definitely a neat one. Give it a try. I've gotten a couple people have already used it and called me and they're like, this stuff is great. So it's a neutral pH cleaner. It's a more green approach, but it's a great new product.
That's awesome, and I can't, like I said, I can't wait to use that. And with it, lasting 3 days, that's another CBI that it can help out with, and that's productivity. Your Grainger customers won't have to clean as often as they used to, so which will also save them money too, because they're not consuming the cleaning products as much too.
Yep,
So,
absolutely.
also, I want to point out that what's being shown right here is on the live stream event page. So, this document on the left provides the old Grainger SKU for our products and the new SKU. So, the old line is being discontinued and it's being replaced by the new line. This is fully Graingerized, it has the Grainger SKUs. Not all of the new ones are live yet, but they will be very soon. So make sure you stop on our event page here for the CLR interview and you download it. You can also get it from the Rowe-Thrush SharePoint site as well, or ask anybody here at Rowe-Thrush or Ryan for this document, and we can get that to you.
Awesome.
All right. With that, anybody with any questions want to open it up? So Ryan, get ready. Let's see if anybody has
Yeah, well, I
anything
can
here.
do.
Okay, I see here in the private chat there's a question. They're asking, what is the availability on the new products?
Yeah, so we're fully in stock. We're ready to go. Obviously, with Grainger, we go live July 1st. But one of the biggest things and the biggest strengths to being with CLR Pro is our products are locally sourced and locally made in Chicago or in Skokie, Illinois, to be more specific. So we're ready. We've been hitting 9% of fill rates on time and getting things delivered. So I know it's kind of crazy out there with the world, especially with supply chain, but our warehouse does an awesome job and we're ready. It's just a matter of you guys learning about it and providing solutions to the end user.
Excellent. I got another question here. Do you have any disinfectant sprays?
That is probably the number one question that, I always get. We do not. The answer is no. Right now, when we look at where we position ourselves, like I said before, safety is big to us and making sure that we hit a lot of these CBIs, especially with safety. We are more focused on, making sure we hit the EPA safer choice, being the partner with them. And for anyone that's listening, a disinfectant is a registered pesticide. And it's important to note that, disinfectants have to dwell on a surface long enough to kill what it's touching. Most people I see spray it, wipe it till it's dry. But if you read the back of the label, it says, let sit for sometimes up to 10 minutes or 3 to 5 minutes, except some of the hospital grade stuff is really strong. But right now we don't. We're more focused on providing those long-term, the sustainable, I can't even say the word sustainable products. So we don't, but we do offer alternative cleaning solutions that are safer.
Awesome. All right. I don't see any more questions coming in at all. So with that, I want to wrap things up. Plus, want to note to everybody that the video recording of this interview, as well as an audio version of it, will be available on the Rowe-Thrush SharePoint site. That way you can go on there and download them, listen to the audio recording in your car when you're doing a sales call or going to the grocery store. Want to also mention that our next live stream interview will be July 2nd, I believe it is. And it will be with New Set Lock. This kicks off our security line of interviews. So really looking forward to speaking with them and learning about their products. With that, I want to thank everybody for taking some time out to watch our live stream interview with Ryan. Thank you, Ryan, for participating in the interview. Hope everybody has a great weekend, and happy Father's Day to all the dads out there.
Thanks again, James. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.